Hi, this is Marla Ridenour, sports columnist for the Akron Beacon Journal, here with Nate Ulrich, Browns beat writer. We just wrapped up day 2 of the NFL draft, and I guess, Nate, the first thing to ask is, what did you think of the guys the Browns picked?
Well, I thought their second-round pick made a lot of sense because they really need edge rushers. They had 30 sacks last season. That was 27th in the NFL. That's obviously not getting it done. So they picked a guy from Utah, Nate Orchard. They traded down, picked him 51st overall. He had 18.5 sacks last season. And he's just a guy who has that physical build of the 3-4 hybrid outside linebacker to the edge rusher. And they think he can complement Paul Kruger, who had 11 sacks last year, but didn't really get much help from anyone else. So that makes a lot of sense. In the third round, they picked Miami running back Duke Johnson, who is #1 on the all-time rushing list for the Hurricanes. Mike Pettin described him as, he said you don't want to use that term third down back, but he's a versatile guy who can do a lot of things, out of the backfield. And a big part of the Duke Johnson pick will be his ability to return kickoffs, because that was a problem. Also, they traded back up into the third round when they didn't have any picks left, and they picked defensive lineman Xavier Cooper from Washington State to shore up the defensive line, to add more depth to go along with, obviously, the 12th overall pick, Danny Shelton, who they picked yesterday in the first round. But Marla, I'm talking about the guys they picked. What's just as noticeable is the guys they didn't pick or the positions they didn't address. 12 receivers have been picked in this draft. The Browns haven't picked one. No quarterbacks picked by the Browns, no tight ends. Ray Farmer's made 11 picks since he's been the GM of the Browns last year and still hasn't picked a receiver. So what's your take on that whole approach?
Well, I guess I'm really mystified at this point. Yesterday I wasn't that worried about the no receiver thing because I figured they were going to address it in the second round because there were a lot of big-name guys still there. Now that you've gone through the 2 days, and you haven't added, and you're probably not going to get a guy in the draft who's going to contribute immediately, maybe not, but and you don't have a tight end. So it's like I'm asking the same question that everyone else in Browns Nation is asking: who's going to score the points? I discussed that in my column tomorrow, but I'm with you, Browns fans. I just don't know.
Yeah, and we know they're going to run a lot, and that's why they had Duke Johnson in the mix with Isaiah Crowell and Terrence West, but this is a passing league. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.